That was the end of the line stuff. I wish there was an easier way to do this. It's tedious that there isn't. It's talking about the other one who claims she talked to him.
In the Beta Hydri system, skirmishes with Imperial ships. The Thargoids. Human Thargoid contact. The Thargoids are a non-human race with a history of hostility towards humanity. The first recorded encounter with a Thargoid ship took place in 2849, although earlier undocumented encounters are believed to have taken place. In the years that followed, contact with low
frameshift drive charging
Thargoid vessels was intermittently reported. Humanity clashed with the Thargoids in the 32nd century, but details of the conflict remained scarce for many years, and it proved difficult to differentiate authentic accounts of Thargoid encounters from the sensationalist media stories of the time. The discovery of abandoned intergalactic naval reserve arm bases in 3303 did much to dispel the fog, however. The INRA, a joint federal imperial initiative established in 3193, was responsible for researching the Thargoids and developing technologies to counter their aggression. But the organization's lack of accountability
frameshift drive charging
meant that the details of its research did not come to light until years after its dissolution. Almost all of the reliable data concerning the Thargoids has been sourced from INRA facilities. This data originally deemed highly confidential was declassified in 3304, following a resolution from the federal government and an imperial decree. Some controversy over the backing and funding of the INRA remains, however. The Thargoids Society. The INRA discovered that Thargoid society is organized into hives, with most Thargoids falling into three categories: queens, princesses, and drones. Queens function as reproducers, while drones serve to maintain a favorable environment for the rest of the hive. Thargoid hives can be vast, although it may be that some of the larger observed groups are in fact multiple, overlapping hives. Ultimately, little is known for sure. The average Thargoid queen is at least as intelligent as a human being, while the typical drone possesses a more rudimentary level of intelligence. Existing evidence suggests that queens have extremely long lifespans, living for hundreds or even thousands of years. The variable size of queens' neurocraniums suggests this might be an indicator of age. Little is known about the precise nature of Thargoid reproduction, but it is likely that queens can reproduce both sexually, with other queens, and asexually. It is thought that the latter method produces drones, while the former produces a new queen. Analysis of Thargoid specimens led some INRA researchers to believe that a new queen, or princess, becomes a full queen only once it has produced drones of its own. Significantly, queens are believed to be single-sex. The Thargoids' ability to reproduce asexually means that their populations can expand incredibly quickly, but it is thought that they deliberately restrict the size of the populace so as to not to deplete all available resources. There is evidence to suggest that this is sometimes achieved by culling older drones. INRA testing indicated the Queens perceive drones as entirely expendable, presumably due to the ease with which they can be replaced. Indeed, a Thargoid Queen appears to give no more thought to the loss of a drone than a human would an eyelash.
Oh, it depends. If the eyelash gets in my eye.
The belief that Thargoids were capable of some form of extrasensory communication was often cited in the early years of human-Thargoid interaction. But prior to the discovery of INRA records, it was not fully understood. Professor Yuri Anslow of the INRA theorized that a Thargoid Queen can communicate with the drones in its hive via a spread-spectrum electronic signal, and can use this signal to control the drones, and even to share their sensory input. Studies of battlefield footage certainly suggest some kind of near-instantaneous communication among Thargoids, and the presence of low-level radio noise in areas occupied by Thargoids indicates that they do indeed communicate via short-range electronic signals. Professor Anslow went on to claim that a Queen could effectively see and hear through its drones, but her contemporaries were skeptical.
Lakon, Papa, Alpha, Lima. Welcome to this federal facility. Please observe all standard docking procedures. Access
Pressing the
granted.
assertion
You
as
will go
basis,
for approach to pad
Professor
1-5.
Ishmael Palin,
Automated docking confirmed.
one of the galaxy's foremost experts on the Thargoids, has even gone so far as to denounce Anslow as a glory hound. Thargoids have been known to make staccato clicking noises with their mouthparts when in the presence of humans, punctuated with occasional hisses and buzzes. They've also been observed directing such noises at one another, albeit much less frequently. Professor Albert Tesreau, a founding member of the Joint Superpower Initiative, AGES, and a specialist in interspecies communication, has studied INRA audio logs and suggested that the sounds probably represent some kind of language due to the repetition of certain sound combinations. It is unclear
Landing gear deployed.
why the Thargoids would sometimes choose to communicate with each other vocally, given their capacity for extrasensory communication. Professor Anslow suggested that the sounds could be designed to intimidate enemies or opponents, noting that Thargoids often produce them prior to combat. Thargoid ships have been observed emitting a complex array of sounds.
Landing completed. Deploying ground crew.
And in some cases subtly changing color. The exact meaning of these behaviors has not been determined, but they appear to correspond to different emotional states. What is not known is if these sounds are produced by the pilot and amplified by the ship, or emitted by the ship itself. If the sounds originate with the pilot, it would suggest some kind of physiological connection between pilot and vessel. Given the sophistication of Thargoid bioengineering, however, it is possible that the sounds come from the ship itself, and that Thargoid ships are able to feel and communicate to a limited degree. The hulls of Thargoid ships are typically emblazoned with one of several symbols, the meaning of which is unknown. Some have theorized that they could denote membership of a particular familial group, or possibly be an indicator of rank. The Thargoids. Physiology. Human understanding of Thargoid physiology is far from complete, but recovered INRA data has offered some insights into their nature. INRA records describe the average Thargoid as physically larger than a human being, and generally insectoid in appearance. Thargoid biology is carbon-based, using an RNA-like encoding for biological information, but Thargoid chemistry is based on ammonia rather than water. Consequently, while Thargoids can comfortably tolerate environments as cold as -80 degrees Celsius, they cannot withstand environments warmer than 45 degrees Celsius for long. According to notes compiled by Dr. Peregrine Hennig, an INRA researcher, Thargoids can survive for a significant time in the vacuum of space without apparent discomfort, and can tolerate radiation and extreme cold for far longer than a human. The Thargoids. Vulnerabilities. In 3151, the INRA developed a biological weapon known as the mycoid virus,
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
used against the Thargoids. The virus was the result of an accidental discovery made by an INRA researcher, who noted that a particular strain of fungus was found to thrive on the hulls of Thargoid vessels and appeared to be digesting the material of which the ship was made.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship
The
release.
INRA
Go for
refined the
departure.
fungal strain and began experimenting on living Thargoids in their spacecraft. The mycoid proved to have deleterious effects on both, leading to the swift elimination of the Thargoids active in human-occupied space at the time. It is widely assumed that since the last human-Thargoid conflict, the Thargoids have developed an immunity to the mycoid virus. The Thargoids, starships. In terms of structure and function, Thargoid vessels are radically different from anything produced by humanity and are able to navigate hyperspace in ways that are not fully understood. They are also at least partly organic, meaning that they can self-repair or heal over time. Ship function in general, and this restorative ability in particular, have been shown to be dependent upon the so-called Thargoid heart, a biomechanical organ found in varying quantities in different Thargoid ships. These hearts often survive the
Frameshift drive charging.
destruction of the ship, enabling them to be salvaged, although they can also be targeted and damaged with appropriate weapons.
You have the all clear? Take care, Commander.
They are highly corrosive, however, and require special containers for safe transport. Thargoid vessels that have sustained combat damage exhibit scar-like patterns. Given that Thargoid technology is sophisticated enough for such damage to be repaired, it follows that the Thargoids might deliberately choose to preserve these scars. INRA logs document an encounter with a Thargoid mothership many times larger than other Thargoid craft, against which the mycoid virus was successfully deployed, although no such vessels have been reported in recent times.
Frameshift drive charging.
The Thargoids. Structures. Dozens of planets in human-occupied space are peppered with Thargoid barnacles, biological resource extractors, that convert minerals into meta-alloys, a key component to the creation of Thargoid vehicles and technology. Theories that these barnacles have been genetically engineered by the Thargoids have yet to be verified. Larger structures, referred to as Thargoid surface sites, have also been discovered. These sites typically consist of a spiral-shaped structure, nestling within a shallow crater,
Fuel scooping.
beneath which lies a series of tunnels. At the heart of this subsurface network is a device that, once
Fuel scoop disengaged.
activated, emits a holographic star map. The sites are patrolled by semi-sentient biomechanical entities called scavengers.
Frameshift drive charging.
The Thargoids. War with the Guardians. Archaeological records have revealed that the extinct, non-human civilization known as the Guardians experienced conflict with the Thargoids many thousands of years ago. Logs recovered from Guardian sites indicate that the Thargoids were the aggressor in this conflict. Having seeded Guardian space with biomechanical constructs used for resource extraction long before the emergence of the Guardian civilization, the Thargoids apparently believed they were entitled to uncontested dominion of the territory. The Guardians attempted to communicate with the Thargoids and reach a compromise, but without success. Over the course of the
Fuel scooping.
conflict, the Guardians developed new technologies to give them an
Fuel scoop disengaged.
advantage against the Thargoids. These technologies were apparently successful, forcing
Frameshift drive charging.
the Thargoids to abandon their offensive. The Thargoids. Agenda. Thargoids do not attack indiscriminately, and their choice of target shows them to be highly intelligent. They have also conducted targeted strikes on Aegis facilities and attacked pilots carrying Thargoid items in their cargo holds, indicating that they know they are being studied and want to halt the process. But despite their evident intelligence, they appear to be completely uninterested in meaningful communication. The engineer Ram Tar, who has extensively researched the Guardians and their war with the Thargoids,
Fuel scooping.
holds holds the view that Thargoid aggression is a product of territorialism.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
They seed an area with barnacles, thus laying claim to it, and return, sometimes many centuries later, to harvest the extracted resources. Any life form
Frameshift drive charging.
advanced enough to compete with them for the territory is treated as an enemy and summarily attacked. Professor Palin concurs with this view, adding that the Thargoids are apparently so determined to eliminate it. Threats to their long-term survival, they will not tolerate any advanced species in close proximity. The Guardians. Introduction. The Guardians were a non-human race that occupied a large area of space several million years ago. At its height, the Guardian civilization was technologically superior to human civilization of the 33rd century, and occupied an area of roughly equivalent size.
Fuel scooping.
The Guardians
Fuel scoop disengaged.
endured as a spacefaring civilization for at least 8,000 years before being destabilized by a lengthy civil war. The surviving Guardians were then destroyed by artificially intelligent machines of their own creation. The galaxy contains the ruins of dozens of Guardian settlements, and data logs recovered from these sites have allowed humanity to compile a remarkably detailed picture of Guardian society. The Guardians. Early history. The Guardian society originally consisted of groups of pack hunters who banded together for mutual protection before organizing themselves into clans. Even at this stage, the Guardians were highly intelligent, and they developed sophisticated hunting strategies that quickly saw them become their planet's apex predator. The Guardians' nascent civilization consisted of two discrete ethnic groups, one based primarily in the south of the planet and one in the north. As these groups expanded, they began to encroach on each other's territory, leading to a conflict that quickly blossomed into civil war. The Northern Clan, despite being the smaller of the two groups, overcame their enemy swiftly and with minimal bloodshed, bringing the entirety of the Guardian civilization under their leadership. In the centuries that followed, the Guardian society developed rapidly. Despite their warlike instincts, the Guardians possessed a remarkable capacity for collaboration and compromise. Their willingness to defer immediate gains in favor of lasting societal benefits allowed them to establish a stable, mutually cooperative society that was to remain peaceful and prosperous for thousands of years. The Guardians. Technological era. Although the Guardian society was in many ways a model of social equilibrium, the Guardians were nevertheless at the mercy of an insidious issue: overpopulation. As their civilization grew and the amount of available...
I need to... Just pausing that for a sec. I made a point earlier, and I was just looking it up, seeing if... Remember I was saying I wasn't sure if I was going to edit it or not. I'd heard things, but I wasn't too sure about it. But yeah, I can't find any information on it, sadly. Probably will just edit it out. Again, it's not that I said I'm wrong or evil or something, it's just... Oh, the hell? No. I feel someone will probably take issue all the same. And I don't want to deal with that. So, I was hoping I could just confirm it there. Just on the fly. While we were waiting and I was listening. But, no. I saw some people agreeing with it, but then others being like, nah, it was shit, but it wasn't that bad. And so I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. Again, there's so much. I know I'm being vague here, but go with it. There's so much out there that it's a pain in the ass to get an accurate read of things. That's it's. There's so much out there that's hard to get an accurate read on. Because one group will say one thing, another group will say another thing. You don't know, are they right? Which one's right? Are they both wrong? There's no way to know off the cuff. And even if you were to do your own research into it, so on and so forth, how would you know what to, what sources to actually rely on? What sources are accurate? It's that's the frustrating bit of it. It's just like, okay, I can't trust this, then what can I trust? Who's actually giving an accurate telling of things? Really feeds into paranoia, which I don't need assistance with. Which is also why I'm so paranoid about saying things, because I went for someone to throw a strop. No, you know what? I will upload. Remember I was saying I was going to edit the thing out. Right now I'm of the opinion that, nah, I won't. Like I said, I didn't say I'm wrong. It's just I don't know. I don't want someone breaking into a fist fight over the internet over it. I don't have the energy for it right now, but I'll probably leave it in. Which makes this whole vagueness, redundant, but Sylvie.
Incoming message.
We're up to friendly now. Yep. Even though I've been to Ross 154, it's still telling me I don't know what their
Cargo hold at
rates are.
capacity.
Whatever. God, this is such good money. I wish I could hold more. Well, I could if I got rid of my shooting. Can I go even further? Beyond shooting, do I have anything else here that I can unload? GDRF? What's that? Ah, it's curing type 1 diabetes. Huh. I was kept thinking Japanese self-defense force. So, yeah, it's slightly different, but close enough. Good enough for government work. No, I need this, I need this. This is a unique slot. So, I can't switch that out for anything. I could get rid of Super Cruise Assist and Advanced Docking Computer, but I'm not going to. I could also get rid of the Fuel Scoop, but I'm not going to. I don't want to have to call Fuel Rats again. Could get rid of the shielding, but in case anything happens, it's good to have it. Gives me that extra bit of health bar, so I don't die. What I could get rid of is the reinforced bulk, the reinforced ally. Um, I could actually sell it and make back over 2 million. It doesn't make sense how the lightweight alloys are free completely, but whatever. Um, it's probably again to have a baseline thing for players to use if something happened or whatever. I could use that money, you know? It wouldn't go amiss. But I know I'm tempted in holding on to the reinforced alloy. Okay, exchange it. Cost me a bit of cash, but now I can make better jumps. So, you know, that's a boon. Okay, I can apparently make a lot better jumps. I didn't actually see the full stats, I just did it. Seriously. I approve. Lost a chunk of cash there, but hopefully, just close this window, it'll pay off quickly enough. And certainly it's a good boon, so it's hardly going to go astray.
Sequence complete. Regulate your speed inside the docking bay.
Wait. Did we really? Jesus Christ. Maybe I should go back and get the other one. That's insane. I cut the jumps down. I think it was like a 6 jumps. I halved it. Wait, can we make this even more bullshit? Scan detected. Oh no. That's why I'm I don't know what Deck Home Boost is. And I can't take avail of FSD either. I have no other little tricks I can use, but whatever. I'm actually going to look up FSD while I'm getting out of Masslock. FSD boost, sorry. It seems that the FSD boost is the Guardian frame drive ship. Frame shift. Guardian frame shift drive booster. And that's difficult to get. You have to do a bit of exploring for it.